It's been like death. I've never seen a human being before, never had a dream or a thought. The brain has been totally inactive, day and night the same. No.
There's no knowledge of that book at all. It's entirely new to me.
But you put, who would put that?
I don't know. No. Oh, for heaven's sake, use your intelligence, for heaven's sake. I haven't read the bloody thing. Well, use your intelligence.
Can you imagine? Oh, every couple minutes, you get so excited and think, oh my god, I'm cured. Look at me. I'm awake. I'm aware of everything. Sure, I don't remember 5 minutes ago, but I remember. I'm alive. I wasn't before, but you were before. And are you now? Although it is very rare for anyone to experience total permanent amnesia, perhaps the worst case of amnesia ever recorded is that of the British musician Clive Wearing, who suffered damage to his brain as a result. Interesting. Guess who's got to learn about that? This guy! And you guys too, because you're here. Stream beats. Clive Wearing. The man with no short-term memory, or long-term memory, right?
Horrible consequences. Clive Wearing has the worst case of amnesia ever known. 20 years ago, he lost his memory, and now his wife, Deborah, is the only person he recognizes.
Oh, at least he recognizes her. 20 years with no memory? You couldn't let go of that note earlier? Aw, that's so sweet.
Clive really only has less than 30
I'm so glad he
seconds
remembers.
memory.
Oh, come
And
on.
sometimes it's as little as perhaps 7 seconds.
That's
It's
so
as
bad.
little as a sentence.
I'm going to see your sister, Adele. Her daughter's got married recently.
It's memento, but it's
New
worse.
Zealand.
Oh,
And so they're having a party.
funny how the ladies acquire a different title when they get married.
Do you know who I'm going to see tomorrow?
Acquire a different title when they get married.
Isn't that is kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, your last name is your family name. I don't know. I feel like your last name should be about your lineage and not who you're married to at the moment. Seems kind of weird to me too. I don't know.
You ask him a question and he'll give you an answer, but while he's giving you the answer, he's already forgotten the question. That's
Oh
how
my
short
god,
it is.
that's so
I'm going to see
sad.
your kids tomorrow.
You ever see my kids?
Yeah, your children.
What are they up to now?
Do you know what they're up to now?
No.
Guess what you think they're up to.
No idea, I couldn't guess. I don't know what their O-levels were. They hadn't got an O-level last time I was conscious. So I didn't know what possible thing they could do, did I?
What?
They hadn't.
Can the UK guys translate?
Up to.
No idea, I couldn't guess. I don't know what their O-levels
No idea, couldn't guess. I didn't. What?
were. They hadn't got an O-level last time I was conscious.
They hadn't gotten a low level last time I was conscious? What?
So I didn't know what possible thing they could do, did I?
I didn't know what possible thing they can do. Did they? What?
No, I couldn't possibly guess.
What? Where do you think they are?
No idea. Don't know where I am.
Don't know where I am. Oh no.
Behind him.
He's
That's been
self-aware
like that.
too.
I've never seen a human being before. Never had a dream or a thought. The brain has been...
All he has is void behind him.
It's been like death. I've never seen a human being before. Never had a dream or a thought. The brain has been totally inactive. Day and night the same. No.
Oh. I can't handle this. I've never seen a human being before. I've never had a dream, never had a thought. It's basically death. It's just a void. Is that not so sad? At least he has someone with him, and at least that someone seems happy.
At all. As far as I'm concerned, the doctors have been totally incompetent. I've never seen a doctor the whole time. Oh, look, it's come.
Stop it! I feel so bad! I wonder how many times he gets excited and hugs his wife during a day.
Doctors have been totally incompetent. I've never seen a doctor the whole time. Oh, look, she's come.
That is genuine excitement. I wonder if it gets old. Or if that just makes his wife sad.
That was a very musical kiss. I'm dizzy. I don't know which part of the room I'm standing in.
Can we dance?
She does seem happy.
Clive was a renowned conductor living in London when he was struck down by a virus in 1985. Parts of his brain were completely destroyed, including his memory. However, his ability to play music is unaffected.
Do you feel different when you play music?
I've never heard a note since I've been ill. I don't know what it's like to play music. When you're unconscious.
You played us some music about 2 minutes ago.
Not known to me.
Oh my god! Ah!
His wife Deborah lives 85 miles away in Reading. His illness has made it impossible for them to live together for 20 years.
Okay. I see. That's why... Well, I don't know if that's why. I don't know if he'd know the difference, but I was gonna say that's why he's so happy when he sees her. But I don't think that's the case.
If Clive went out of the front door, unsupervised, unaccompanied, it would be like being separated from a spaceship. It would be like if he was spacewalking and the rope broke. He would have no way of getting back, ever.
But does Clive know his name?
Yes.
Does he know how old he is?
No.
Does he know where you live?
No. No idea.
Does he know your job?
No. No idea.
Does he know the...
Can't he get one of those like tattoos for like, you know, any mentally challenged person that if they get lost, they can be found pretty easily?
Day of the week?
I feel like that's a pretty practical solution for that.
Can he read a book?
No, because he can't remember the sentence before last.
Can he watch a film?
No. He'll watch the rugby or he'll watch the cricket. He won't know who's playing or what the score is, but each stroke and each try is satisfying for him to watch.
I did posture check. Again? It's bad? I thought I was still good.
Now has islands.
Am I not good?
Just as we can ride a bike
I feel good.
without remembering how we were taught.
I guess
Clive can
my
play
neck
and
isn't
respond
that
to
good.
music Because he's innate. Deborah visits Clive on average once a month. What sort of man is he?
Passionate.
Yeah, it would be.
Funny, very, very comical. And
It would make you
very,
go
very
insane, I
self-effacing.
guess.
He often apologises to me and says, I must have been such a nuisance to you, I'm so sorry. I mean...
I told you you were arriving.
He apologizes a lot
He's very,
too.
very self-effacing.
No.
He doesn't want to be a nuisance to anyone. He often apologises to me and says, I must have been such a nuisance to you, I'm so sorry. I mean...
At least don't be self-aware. Ignorance is bliss. You have complete ignorance out of the 7 seconds that you're in. But you're still self-aware. You're still not ignorant. Come on, Clive. That's sad. I wish he was a bit more ignorant, but at the same time, then he would probably be more rude, and then maybe Deborah wouldn't visit as much. But then would it? I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know how to process it. I can't imagine what it's like.
I told you you were arriving. Welcome to Earth.
He knows me. He might not remember anything about me, but
Yeah.
he knows me. He knows what I'm like. And we're still very much a team. I mean, it sounds odd that we see so little of each other, but we're very much a team.
Come on. No hanging around on the other side of the room.
Thank you, darling. What does it mean to you when Deborah comes to visit?
Heaven on earth arrives.
And what does it mean to you when Deborah can't come and visit?
Well, I don't know. I've never been conscious since I've been ill. I don't know what I've been thinking when she's not here. I've never seen her before either. Never heard a word. Yes, I've never seen a human being since I've been ill. You're the first 4 people I've seen. In what, 30 years?
You're the first 4 people I've seen in 40 years. How about that?
What does being unconscious mean?
Same as death. No difference between day and night. No thoughts at all. Day and night the same.
And what does love mean, Mr. Wearing?
0 in tennis and everything in life.
Good answer. Good answer.
I think he's faking the whole thing, guys. Guys, is he faking the whole thing?
Clive's descent into brain damage came frighteningly quickly one week
descent.
in March 1985, when he came home from work looking flushed and feverish. On Saturday, his headache started. By Tuesday, he was no better, and he hadn't slept. His temperature was 102. By Wednesday, he was very confused and couldn't remember Deborah's name. His temperature was 104. Doctors came and went, and Deborah left him sleeping. But when she came home, Clive had disappeared from their flat.
I called his name, There was no reply. I went into the bedroom. The bed was empty. And I knew something terrible had happened. We sat and we sat and we sat. And then a man's voice, the phone rang and a man's voice said, "Are you Mrs. Wearing?" "Yes, we've got your husband."
Okay.
Thank God.
Hi, I'm your
Clive had
husband.
gone out, fully dressed, with his overcoat and a copy
what
of the
I was
Times under his
expecting.
arm, hailed a cab.
I don't remember who you are.
But couldn't remember where he lived. He wanted to go home and he couldn't remember where he lived. And the cab driver had dropped him at West Hampstead police station, and the police had chased him by his Barclay card. But the Friday morning, he wasn't answering me, and I picked up one of his arms, and it was Floppy. So I rang the doctor again. I said, "He's gone, Floppy! He's gone, Floppy! Get here now!"
Can you imagine that phone call? Hello. Hello. He's gone, Floppy! He's gone, Floppy! Come here quick!
And the doctor came, took one look at Clive, and dialed 999. Went out.
What's 999?
Walked down the stairs, and as he turned the landing, he said, "This is the strangest case I've ever seen." We got to the hospital, and I just remember going through
Gotta
these
happen to
clear
someone, right?
plastic rubber doors. They were like a valve.
Someone's gotta be the strangest.
Did tests. They realised that Clive's brain was being attacked by the Herpes Simplex, or cold sore virus.
Aw.
Realised that Clive's...
It's so... I don't know why, but it feels... it feels bad. Like, the end result would be the same, but it's like... At least be like a weird virus that no one's heard about, right? It's a herpes simplex virus. 1.5 meters apart and wearing masks for protection. Isn't it that a sneeze can travel 7 meters per second or something? I don't know about the sneeze, but you don't have to sneeze. Watch this.
I want to show you what the difference is between wearing a mask and not wearing a mask in terms of the droplets that you see with laser light scattering. Let's take a look at the video. So here it is without a mask.
Now I'm recording. Stay healthy. Great. Stay healthy. Great. Less loud. Stay healthy.
Look at that! He was basically whispering. Isn't that disgusting?
Loud.
Look at all those particles.
Stay healthy.
Oh my god.
Good. Are you recording? Yeah. Stay healthy. Louder. Stay healthy. Louder. Stay healthy.
There's like 1 or 2 particles. Wow.
So you can see perhaps why the CDC is recommending when you're in the store, going out in the public, you may want to continue to wear a face mask.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe.
That it's going to happen. And it caused an inflammation of the brain, which was called encephalitis.
Wait, people, whoa. Do British people actually pronounce that encephalitis? Encephalitis. Encephalitis. No, I guess it's just the woman. I guess it's just the
In
woman.
American English.
No, it is! Oh my god!
Encephalitis. Encephalitis.
In British English. Encephalitis.
Okay.
Encephalitis.
I don't get it.
In Welsh English. Encephalitis.
Why are you writing Kef there? Whatever. So it's just the woman's thing.
It caused an inflammation of the brain, which is called
weird.
encephalitis.
Sounds so weird.
From what the doctors said about how bad the temperature had been and how ill he'd been, I was very concerned that he wasn't going to live. I was fairly convinced that I'd come to see my dad die.
Okay.
And then he didn't.
Okay. The way you said that feels like you'd rather he did.
Clive was given a new drug called acyclovir. It saved his life, but came
It was
too late
new
to
back
prevent brain
then?
damage.
Wait, Acyclovir's that
The virus
that
had
new?
destroyed Clive.
That's what it's been like. Just like death. No
Stop
difference from
saying
day
that,
and night, no thoughts
please.
at all.
Stop saying that.
In that sense, it's been totally painless. Which is not something which is very desirable, really, is it? Which is precisely like death.
Stop being so self-aware.
Senses of pain. You have no sense of any kind working either.
Just let it go.
I don't remember sitting down on this chair.
Stop being so smart.
Clive remained at St Mary's Paddington for 7 years. There was nowhere else suitable for him to go. His mood swung from euphoria to sadness within weeks, and confusion and despair set in.
No.
He was in severe shock, so he was just crying all the time. You'd come in and you say, "Oh, hi, I'm your son. You're my son. I don't recognise you." And then he'd be crying again, and you're just stuck in that loop for months.
Why does he recognise him now, though?
I
What
said,
changed?
Clive, can you
He got
tell
better
me
of
why
it?
you're crying?
That's nice.
And he said no. And I handed him a little notepad and a pen, and I said, "Can you write it?" I said, "Just write quickly. Why are you crying?" And he wrote, "I am completely incapable of thinking."
No! Oh my god, this is so dark. I'm so
completely incapable of thinking.
I hate this. I hope this never happens to anyone again.
Darling, don't need to Clive here. I don't care about anybody else in the world. Just you, please. Please come. Love you. Bye-bye, darling.
Can you imagine having absolutely no control over your thoughts? You just have to find new ones. Every minute.
These messages were recorded on Deborah's answer phone minutes after she'd left him.
Can you come and see me, please? I've no clue what's happened last night.
Deborah visited Clive daily, but he couldn't remember her being there.
I don't care how late it is. Come to me at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't mind. I just love you, and I want you to come as soon as you can, please, darling. Take care. I love you. I haven't seen you yet, and I want to. Please come, darling. Bye-bye.
Physics, baby.
No, darling, don't need to Clive here. I don't care about anybody else in the world. Just you, please. Please come.
Why do I keep ending the streams on such sad notes?
I've let myself in.
Every moment for Clive is the first moment, because the amnesia is rubbing everything out immediately after it happens. Not only does he not remember anything that's happened to him since he was ill, he doesn't remember anything that's ever happened to him in the whole of his life. He knows about things. He knows that he worked for the BBC.
Oh,
but
yes?
he does not have any event in his mind that he can bring to his mind's eye. He knows that we are married. He does not remember the wedding.
So why doesn't he remember his son's name?
First diary entry I've made consciously.
First diary entry he's made consciously.
Clive keeps a diary every day and has done for 20
Nope,
years in an
not
effort
anymore.
to make sense of his life. He writes multiple entries recording his last conscious moment.
I am
He would
alive.
look at his watch to see what time was this momentous event occurring of first consciousness. And so he would write down 10:06 awake first time.
It's even worse. He has hope. He has hope every time. I did not expect that. Oh. Oh no. He knows he's sick though, right?
Have the same sensation, but 10:07 awake first time, truly awake first time. Ignore the last entry.
No.
Now I'm awake. This is the first real awakeness. And so the diaries are line by line a succession of astonished awakenings.
That is
That's
insane.
1990, when he'd been suffering amnesia for just 5 years. And this is the effect on him 7 years on.
What does that
But
mean?
you can see that he's by no means resolved his anguish. By no means. So there's a constant, desperate series of scrubbing out all the previous entries and saying, now I'm awake. Now I'm awake. And the pencil just becomes blurred and it goes on. And I mean, it's so thick, the pencil, it's almost as if he's using the pencil to dig himself back into time, to try to fix himself in a continuum, to have more than one moment at a time.
Stop it, Deborah, please. Oh my god. Can you imagine? As you might have gathered, I love imagining stuff. Oh, every couple minutes, you get so excited and think, oh my god, I'm cured. Look at me. I'm awake. I'm aware of everything. Sure, I don't remember 5 minutes ago, but I remember. I'm alive. I wasn't before, but you were before. And are you now?
In the diary of rubbish. What does that mean?
I've no idea.
Did you write that?
I've no conscious knowledge at all, no. You're showing me now for the first time.
Is it your handwriting?
Yes, it is. But I know nothing about it at all.
So how do you think it got there?
I did. I presume the doctors don't know.
But you must.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the book at all till now.
No, all I'm saying.
No, that means I haven't seen it. I have no knowledge of it at all. That's all. There's no knowledge of that book at all. It's entirely new to me.
But who would put that apart?
I don't know. No. Oh, for heaven's sake, use intelligence, for heaven's sake. I haven't read the bloody thing. Well, use your intelligence.
Use your intelligence. Does this like make it better or worse, or does it have no effect at all? Because the sun is shining bright. Like, oh my god, that is.
Yeah. First time I've seen my writing.
Okay. First time. There's a first time for everything, and sometimes there are thousands of first times for everything. Oh, that was dark. That was dark.
Clive became ill and hospitalised only 18 months after marrying Deborah. 3 years after the virus attacked his brain, the strain on their lives was beginning to show.
It's like being a one.
It began to show 3 years after? Oh my god, kudos to you, Deborah. Wow. Wow. You are a better person than I am.
And widow,
I'm sure of it.
Simultaneously. I lost Clive, or most of Clive, 3 years ago. Because without consciousness...
Well, I guess you have to hold out hope. I guess, yeah. You don't know it's gonna stay like this forever because it's so rare. So I guess she's got that. So, you wait and you wait and you try to get him back. But then, sometimes acceptance starts to creep in. I guess you have to keep, hold out hope for a couple years, I guess.
In many senses.
I'm not saying, I'm not trying to take away from her patience, but still. It kind of makes it more, you know, digestible. Like, how did you wait so long? But we know in hindsight that he's gonna be too far gone, that he's already too far gone. But you never know in the moment.
Because without consciousness, he's in many senses dead.
With no hope of living together again, Deborah divorced Clive and flew to America.
I rang him up to say, hello, darling, I've arrived. Although, of course, he didn't know I'd left because he didn't know I'd ever been there. And it didn't really make any difference where I was. It didn't matter whether I was in London or New York or Timbuktu.
Like, it's not like something where you do for like a little kid that's absolutely never gonna remember anything about that moment. But you know, it kind of builds up a character, or maybe you traumatize him and that builds the character somehow, one way or another. It's not that. He literally, it has no effect on him. You can't make him overall happier by being nice all the time, because his predicament is frustrating as is. And I think he's aware enough. It's just, there's no way out. There's no way out. So if he's playing cards, 1 minute later, he finds himself playing cards. He doesn't remember the other minute. Does he get angry again? Because like, when you show him a diary and say, hey, maybe you don't remember writing that, he gets really angry, and fair enough. But if he finds himself playing cards, and he has no idea how he got there, does that like that proof in his hands stop him from being angry and just make him sad instead? I put up a blanket on the side of the balcony, so it kind of covers a bit of the door.
She returned to the UK, drawn back to Clive. She
Aww.
settled in Nottingham, working for the brain injury charity Headway.
Aww.
Deborah had come full circle.
And I came back still not knowing how to live. Still with that huge emptiness, a great sucking emptiness inside that could never be filled. Still with a sense of needing to go home but not have, you know, where's home? Because home was where he was, but I couldn't be with him. I'd reached really the end of my tether, and I rang a friend and I asked her to pray for me. She was the only Christian I knew. And as she was whispering away to God, and I just felt this extraordinary power coming into me. And I knew that God was in my room. And that emptiness that I had been trying to fill all those years with relationships, with food, with alcohol, I was filled.
That's
that emptiness
nice.
was gone.
Good for you. That unfillable void inside, that just sucks, you know. I'm glad she found a way out of it. So if she never ever visited him again, I feel like I keep going around in circles, but would it have any effect on him whatsoever if she never came back? On him, not on her.
You gave them an experience of something deep and profound and spiritual, and they went away after your concerts and they were never the same again. You did, darling.
I don't know, you didn't even say that, I can't think that.
Well, you were marvellous.
Yeah.
You still are marvellous.
Every happy moment is just sitting on top of layers and layers and layers and layers of sadness. Oh my god. Feels bad, man. That's just the summary of this whole video is feels bad, man. So that's all I got. We sat and wept when we remembered. Oh no. Good job, cameraman.
Guess what my job is?
Head of the United Nations.
Head of Imaginations? Head of what pie? I don't...
PR! Wow, that's amazing.
PR?
PR! Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I do. That's very clever. Well done, darling.
Oh, it's like a kid.
You astound me sometimes. You take my breath away.
Oh my god.
I know you didn't lose your breath. But not to stop breathing, though.
No, I won't. That's what God told me. Do you know what I do for a living?
You earn money.
Yeah. What do you think my job is?
Running the United Nations.
No, really, what do you think it is? Guess.
Head of the United Nations. No, British Empire.
Guess. What can you see me doing?
Being food stock.
No, really.
I don't know.
PR, public relations.
Oh, is he? Oh, well done. That's an exciting life, though, isn't it? No two days the same, really. They're always different, aren't they?
That pain. She just gave him 5 compliments for remembering that. And though they were heavy compliments. You astound me. Sometimes you take my breath away. You're so clever. Good job. Give me a kiss. Hey, what did you say again? Oh, head of the United Nations. No. British Empire. No. At least he has some, you know, a lot, actually, of humor.
Deborah renewed her marriage vows with Clive 3 years ago.
Aww.
They'll always have to live apart.
What does this house mean to you?
The opposite of walking in the open air. The necessity for life.
This house. What is
Never
this
seen
house?
it before.
What does this place mean
I
to you?
don't know. It doesn't mean anything. I've never seen it before. Hello?
Yeah, I mean, can you listen? It would have gotten really boring if he just kept on going. I don't know. But if he answers it literally, that's so much more fun for everybody else and probably for him too. I may be biased here because those are some of my favorite jokes. Just like purposely misinterpreting stuff. What does this house mean to you? It means that snow won't fall on my head in the winter. I don't know.
It's not familiar then, the house. No.
Hello, heaven, no.
Heaven, no. Hello is very hello.
Classic pun.
What do you think we'll find when we get in?
Alcohol.
Let's hope, eh?
Champagne, I want. Really.
What do you think life's been like for your father?
Hell. I can't imagine anything worse. Must be really frightening. To be constantly waking up to something that you don't recognise. To sort of turn around and, where am I? And you do it again and you don't know where you are. I can't imagine anything more frightening. Must be like a nightmare.
It's interesting to see how the different people cope. Like Deborah's so jolly and you know, makes jokes kind of, and she laughs and she tries to, you know, she's acceptative kind of, I guess. Her, she's just way too full of empathy and she can't bear it. I feel like I'd be more like Deborah. Or maybe not, I don't know. I think I'd be in between the two.
If you could go anywhere, where would you like to go?
No idea.
Well, I'm going to take you home.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's marvellous, yes.
Do you know where home is?
No.
Guess.
Yesterday.
Home is yesterday.
Yes,
That's not a bad answer.
Yeah, that is actually, that's pretty profound.
Do you remember the car your parents drove? Your father drove?
No, I can't remember. It's all gone.
You remember the number plate?
Yeah, 941.
EON 941?
Yeah.
You do?
I can't remember the card.
Do you remember the phone number when you were a little boy?
3164.
All right, dude. All right.
Hi, Dad. How are you? Yeah, very pleased to see a human being for the first time.
Very pleased to see a human being for the first time. Welcome, welcome.
Wife of yours, she's good.
I like human beings.
What does normality feel like to you now?
Great luxury and something that, you know, to be really valued and appreciated. It's very precious.
Deborah, what will this day mean to Clive? Nothing.
Nothing in his conscious memory.
Stop asking her questions
While
like that.
Here, he doesn't know we're here. And when he's in the car, he won't know we've been here.
And you won't remember anything of it?
No. He doesn't remember anything that's ever happened in the last 20 years, ever.
What do you say to Clive when he gets confused and disorientated? How do you deal with that?
Well, he's disoriented all the time. But it doesn't matter, because we don't need to be in time. We don't need to be in any particular place. So we're on another plane, Clive and I. We're in a world where there is no time.
My heart.
After 4 hours.
That's so sweet. See, I told you. True acceptance. Wow. Did I say profound yet? Because that was good. That mindset, so good. Who's to say this has no meaning? Yeah, who's to say we're not in a meaningful relationship? Just because he's only aware of it for a couple seconds at a time. Who's to say this isn't valuable?
After 4 hours, Deborah has to take Clive back to the brain injury unit.
Has it gone well?
I don't really want to answer that, thank you.
What's the brain injury unit?
Where's the judge?
She doesn't want to answer if it's gone well. She's been answering the same questions for like probably days. Has it gone well?
I don't really want to answer that, thank you.
That's interesting.
That
was very rude. That was really rude. Ask me again.
I was just wondering how the day had been.
What? What happened?
It's just so sad that it's not, you know, that's not our reality. And
No.
It's just so sad.
Oh no. You just gave me a high, and then you let me come crashing down, Deborah. Why you gotta do me like that, Deborah? Oh. that wasn't great. That wasn't great. But yeah, I understand. You can't keep that positive mentality 24 hours a day. Sometimes you gotta let it out. She only stopped for a couple seconds. By the way, why do British people say thank you when they're angry? Say sorry, I get that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't want to answer that. But I don't want to answer that. Thank you very much. It's kind of weird to me. I don't know.
He used to get very aggressive. He was very angry. You know, there was one occasion when I went to see him on my own, and he just, when I said who I was, he attacked me almost.
Why?
You know, grabbed hold of me very aggressively.
Why?
And the staff came in and sort of calmed it down. But he remembered me.
He doesn't
much
like
younger.
his sister?
He just said, no, you know, you're too old.
Deborah's done more for Dad than any other single person. And I very much doubt that I could have done that for him. And that's hard. That's very hard. I think I'd have given up.